Hello, Alicia Show listeners. I am super, super excited to have Kerry with us today. And I met Kerry a good couple of years ago. So we've been in each other's world for a good couple of years now. And I am just in awe of how this woman is building her brand and her business and supports me in my business and my brand as well. So I just thought it would be a great time to have a conversation all about what she does. But it's really timely because if you listen to last week's episode, I was talking about things that you could do within your business to give you more time. And that's what we're really going to dive into today. So, Kerry, would you tell the listeners who you are and what you do?
Absolutely. Thank you, Alicia. Thank you for having me. And yes, it's almost been 3 years that we've been in each other's lives.
Yes.
So I'm super excited to be here and talk about my business, which is recently launched. So it's called PoiseCRM. So it's a CRM, but it's so much more than that. It's an all-in-one business management tool that allows you to automate your business and run it on autopilot. Now, that sounds like so vague, but what it does is honestly everything. Whether you're looking for an email list manager, whether you're looking for a way to manage your pipelines and your opportunities, whether you're looking for a way to automate your text messages and send out a text message when you miss a phone call from someone, or whether you're looking for a way to make landing pages and funnels, or send a text message to collect a payment when you're with someone on Zoom. We've all been there trying to sell our programs.
Yes.
People say, yes, I want to buy. As soon as you get off Zoom, you never hear from them again. Right? So it does all of these things. Like, it's so hard for me to say specifically one thing because it really, truly does everything. But I think the best part of the business, and I think the part that's the most fun for me, is that I offer concierge support and consultative support. Really, I talk to people, I ask them about their client journey. I have them tell me about their business in specific, what they want to happen from when someone looks at their website or submits a form, so that I really get to know each business owner on an individual level and customize the software so that it specifically fits their needs, so that they can rest assured that their business is running on autopilot. So for me, it's fun. I get to kind of solve all these puzzles, put all the pieces together, but also I get to learn how people are running their businesses. What works for some may not work for others, but I'm learning from all of these different business owners, different business types, and I'm able to kind of create this library of knowledge that I'm able to share with the clients on best practices. And hey, my client A is in a similar business as you, and they do this and it works really well for them. And so I love kind of being able to handhold people as they embark on their journey with me, because it feels like I'm a part of their team and I'm able to help lift them up, because me, I believe in karma. And what goes around comes around, and I want to help others because I've had some help along the way, right? And sometimes you just need someone to believe in you just a little bit. And also, sometimes you need someone to kind of pull you back down to earth. Like, okay, you have all these ideas. You want to do this and this and this and this and this. And then you get so overwhelmed and you don't know where to start. So I love to be able to say, okay, I'm hearing you want to go from A all the way to P, but let's set up the steps B, C, and D first. And I will do it for you. I'll do it for you so that then, as I was telling you when I was in the shower this morning, I got a new lead, right?
Yes.
So you can go to sleep. You can go to your kid's graduation. You can go to the grocery store. You can spend time with your family, walk your dog, ride the Peloton, and still have your business making money for you.
And that's the whole reason why our businesses are so aligned, because when you were saying all of that, I was like, yes, 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 yes. You need to have a plan, and you need somebody to be able to know your vision and your mission and actually then help you step by step to get to where you want to get to. And so when I knew that you were launching this business, I was like, yes, we need to have a conversation, because this is exactly what sometimes is the missing puzzle.
Right.
Because we become entrepreneurs to really excel in the expertise that we have.
Yes.
But a lot of the time, we don't want to do the back end system operational.
Or we may not even know how to,
Yeah.
right? And then you're like, okay, let me try to do this. Let me go search on the internet or search on YouTube or something. And then you go down this rabbit hole and you lost half a day where you're like, wait, I didn't really get anything done because you were too busy trying to look at how do I do something versus hire someone and with that already has that knowledge, right? And that you trust because they've listened to you, because they've understood you, because they've been in your shoes before. And so I think people, especially when we're solopreneurs, we want to save money. We want to DIY everything because we feel like, oh, I can't afford that yet. Or, I had a sales call with the girl the other day and she said, oh, I don't think that my business is that successful that I need a CRM. I don't need a platform. And I said to her, I totally understand that. But at the same time, how are you going to do your marketing, your social media planning, your invoicing, your emails, your sales calls, on top of doing what you actually do in your business, your coaching? I talked to a personal trainer yesterday. I mean, how are you going to do all these things? You're only one person.
One person.
So let's set all of the pieces in play on the back end so that you can actually coach, so you can actually train, so you can do what it is you wanted to do in the first place when you started a business, what you're good at, right?
Exactly. So I have already told the listeners, my loves, that I spent 3 months this year looking at my foundations, my operations for exactly that reason, so that I could then deliver. And it turned my business around. I've had major revenue months because my systems are in place. The automation that you're talking about is happening whilst I am working around Alessandra, like you said, spending time with the family. Then I get a notification, oh, you've been paid.
Yeah.
And that feeling as a solopreneur is life.
Oh my goodness. Honestly, it is motivating. It is what
Yes.
helps keep me going when I'm like, oh, how do I get clients? Where should I market? All these gurus are saying, you need to go live, you need to have videos, you need to have carousel posts, you need to have reels, you need to be in this Facebook group and that Instagram group, you need to get on threads, you need to pay for marketing, you need to do all the things, you need to have a newsletter every week and blah, blah, blah. No, you need to have your systems in place. Then you can build out from there. And I
Thank
think
you.
one of the things that makes my clients successful is that when they come to me, they may be coming empty-handed, but when I actually launch them, they have assets. They have a landing page, they can have a website, they have the funnels, they have the calendars, they have the automations. So it's not like you're just buying something and then, okay, here you go, figure it out. I don't do that because that doesn't set you up for success. And if you're not set up for success, I'm not set up for success. We all can win. We can all win together.
Exactly. So I'm going to ask you, I'm going to be like, rewind. Why are you so passionate about this business now? What made you set up this business?
So I'm going to rewind even more. This is actually my 6th business. And I have had brick and mortars. I have had online businesses. I've been a partner in a couple of businesses. I've had a health practice, a fitness studio, a sports performance facility. I've done it all. I even had a store where I sold dance attire.
Wow.
So my background is in dance and fitness. I've been an instructor and a coach for 23 years.
Yeah.
I get old. No, 23 years. And that sounds crazy to say, for 23 years. And I got into that because one time in the dance studio, I had a really hard upbringing. I had a really horrible childhood. I was in foster care, kidnapped to the other side of the world. And a lot of people don't know that about me, but I was literally taken from my home country and brought to the other side of the world without my parental family knowing. And I grew up in Europe and I was born in America. And a lot of people don't know that. And then I grew up in foster care in Europe. And one day in the dance studio, I had a dance instructor who made me feel seen, made me feel like I mattered. And it made me feel so good. And from that day on, I always wanted to help others.
Yeah.
Which is why I started off with dance. I started off with fitness, just the joy of moving your body, how you feel, and then being able to combine it with music. And it's almost like running away, running into this new world where you can be anything, do anything. And then I transitioned more into health. I started a PhD program in health and human performance. Like, I have a clinical degrees. I've worked in hospitals. Like, I've done all the helping things, right?
Mm-hmm.
But now I want to help myself.
Oh, yes.
And I want to help myself through helping others. But there is nothing wrong with saying, I want to prioritize myself. I want to make money and I want to have fun while making money. And I want to make money on my terms, which is why I started this business, because I have this knowledge, right? I've worked for someone else in marketing for 3 years. I've seen all the things, helped over 700 businesses. And that's like in addition to my 17 plus years of entrepreneurial experience. And so I had like a come to Jesus moment with myself, like moving to a new state, getting into a new relationship. Like, who am I? What am I doing? Not having friends in my immediate area.
Mm-hmm.
Thinking, what do I truly, genuinely want with my life?
Yes.
And financial freedom is freaking high up on that list. And I am not ashamed to say that. I want to make money.
And I think that's such a huge talking point for me, because as women business owners, sometimes we are afraid to say that we want to prioritize the revenue factor, that we want to make money. And for me, I'm really starting to get comfortable with saying that I want to make money so that I can live more comfortably, my family can live more comfortably, and then I can help others.
Correct. And I think people need to realize, and especially women business owners, and this isn't an insult, but I think we need to open our eyes sometimes and realize that us prioritizing making money does not equal us deprioritizing our children or our families, or it doesn't make us too bold or too loud or too obnoxious or too anything. It makes us what we should be, what we want to be. It gives us the power to be whatever the heck we want to be, and who cares what other people say. So I am so passionate about this business because I love connecting with entrepreneurs. I love kind of figuring out, how can I help you? Because again, if you're successful, I'm successful. If you make money, I make money. And I want to make money. I want to make us both money. And I love being able to connect with people while I do it. I'm also a big science nerd and analytical, and I love numbers, and I love being able to actually have tangible data to give to my clients. Look how many new leads you got. Look how many appointments you set. Look at your email open rate or your click rate. And so I love all of those aspects of business. And don't get me wrong, it's hard as heck. It is, but it's worth it. In the end, it's worth it. And it makes me happy. It makes me feel like I'm giving back to people. It also allows me to control my time. So I can go in the running group or go volunteer. I have an app on my phone that I volunteer for people who are visually impaired and blind. And when I was working at the hospital, I couldn't answer those calls. So what the app does is it allows you to answer the call. And then the person who's visually impaired says, hey, can you help me? What does this say? One time someone said, I dropped my ring on the floor. Can you help me find it? And so they're holding the camera and I'm looking through the phone. I couldn't do that when I was at the hospital.
Kerry.
And now I can answer the phone whenever I want and help people. That's why I'm passionate about it. That's why I'm successful.
You've just left me really speechless, because I didn't even know that was a thing.
Yes.
And so we need to connect on that, because wow.
Things that we take for granted.
Things that we take for granted, but just a lot of the things that you literally just said in the last 7 minutes or so, I am just like, wow. Like, I love the fact that you feel so open to be able to share things that I didn't even know about you, right? So firstly, I just want to say thank you for showing your vulnerability, but also that really does show how passionate you are about getting other business owners into a place that you are in, where their systems are automated, so that you can do things like you just said, like volunteering. And making money to be able to help others as well. Those factors for me are huge. because we're both in service-driven businesses and people don't always recognize everything that happens in the background.
Right.
They just turn up and think that this is all glitter and gold, but we're doing a lot of work. So why not take some of that work away and automate it? And I know some people will be rolling their eyes because they'll be like, oh, AI, now automation, yada, yada, yada. But this, for me, is a smart business move because I want to make money in my sleep.
Right. I mean, Alicia, it doesn't matter if you like it or not. That is the way the world is. When I was a little kid, we didn't have computers and the internet. And I mean, I remember the dialing up, right?
Dial up.
And like, we didn't have cell phones and all these apps and stuff like that. But that is the way we shop now. I can't tell you the last time I've been in a store other than a grocery store or the pet store. Everything I buy online, that is just the way it is. And you either get with the program or you get left behind. Truly. And why work harder when you can work smarter?
Yeah, 100%. So is that one of the reasons why you decided to go online versus brick and mortar?
Yes, because I've had 3 brick and mortars before. And let me tell you, kudos to those who want that. I do not want that. It is so hard. And don't get me wrong, online is hard as well. But if I'm not feeling well, I can turn my camera off. I can still work, keep my camera off. I can maybe block off my calendar so I don't have calls that day and still work and my business won't shut down. If you are a solopreneur and you have a brick and mortar and you are sick, there's no days off.
No.
Not turning your camera on or not taking calls that day, you have to be there. You can't close your doors because what type of service is that if someone comes to your shop and your shop is closed?
Yeah.
I also think everyone is online. Like we do everything online. Everything. It's just, for me, it's what makes sense. It's the way the society is. It's a beautiful way to connect with people in all parts of the world. It's a way to reach more people from your audience, not just those who live down the street from you.
Yes, 100%.
I think it just provides people with a little bit more safety because it's also a smaller investment to get started, right?
Yeah, I totally agree. I mean, for me personally, one of the reasons why I run my business the way I do is because, one, it fits around my family. Okay, so I can switch on my camera at 7 o'clock in the evening when Alessandra's gone to bed and do a couple of hours and serve my clients in the different parts of the world because my child is sleeping now. I can do that. Or I can do it at the beginning of my day as well to serve other clients in another different time zone. So for me, it works really well because it means that I can work when I want to work.
Right.
I can switch
from where you want to work.
And from where I want to work from and switch off when I want to switch off from. And I just think I've worked in studios, I've worked in corporate, I've worked in brick and mortar jobs, and I'm just like, okay, you have to have some element of that business that is online.
Correct.
You have to.
Correct. And I mean, I even have solutions for those who have brick and mortars, right? The software does shopping. You can have invoices and products. This software allows you to send out a newsletter if you have a sale or a special going on in your shop. Or for your social media. We all use social media. We should all be utilizing some sort of email list, right? If you miss a phone call, we can automate it so that whoever called you automatically gets a text message from you saying, so sorry we missed your call. How can we help you? Think about that if you're in a brick and mortar and you're helping another client and you get another client calling you, well, you just lost this client.
Yeah. So for those of us who may be feeling a little bit overwhelmed in starting automation within their business, what would you say would be the easiest way to start?
The easiest way to start, if you don't want to sign up with me, who will hold your hand through the whole process, is to sit down and think about what is your client journey? What happens when someone visits your website? How do they contact you? Did you make it easy for them to contact you, or is your website all about you? You probably got into business to help others or to provide some sort of service or product that you were really good at, but no one cares about you. They care about what you can do for them. They care about how you make them feel. So is your website welcoming to that? Does your website give off the vibe that you want to give off? And do you make it easy for people visiting your website to make a choice? You do not tell them that you serve 10 different flavors of ice cream. You tell them chocolate or vanilla, and they choose one or the other. And then you make it easy for them to fill out a form. There are people who have buttons. And I had this conversation yesterday with a girl, a businesswoman, who had a button to contact her, but it was for them to send an email to her. And I said, they're already struggling with their health and their wellness and maybe their weight and their self-confidence. And now you're making them write the first email to you? No, that's not how you work. You make it easy for them to fill out their information, and then you take over.
Yes.
And so I tell people, what is your client journey? Once someone actually takes that big step, which is the hardest threshold, is to fill out that first form, then what do you want to happen? How do you want them to be welcomed into your ecosystem?
Yes.
That is the first thing. And then I would say, what happens when they become a client? What type of emails or text messages or support or course materials, or what do they get when they become a client? Then I ask them, what are you doing to keep these people as your client? And then what happens if they cancel? What's the process for that? And how do you stay in touch with them?
Yeah.
The power of a alumni or reactivation campaign is so strong. And so many people are just like, oh, they're not a client anymore. Delete from my CRM.
No.
Yeah, you should never delete unless the person says, if you don't contact me anymore.
Yes.
Other than that, you should never delete.
Just never. If they say, if you don't contact me, do not contact them.
No.
Okay. But if they're like, okay.
But don't delete them because you may accidentally contact them.
But I love all of those tips, because whilst you were saying them, I was like, okay, tick, no, okay, I need to work on that. But luckily enough, we're already in our onboarding stages of collaborating and working together, so that I can also make sure that my automations are tip top, because that's not my expertise.
Right. So if you tell me your vision, I will make it happen. And if I can't make it happen, I'll say, Alicia, we shouldn't do it this way. It's not in your best interest. Let's do it this way instead. Right? It's like how I see with the websites all the time. People make it all about them, and they are so emotionally attached to their website. I have a friend who does like spa services, and she used to be my esthetician, and now we're friends. And she asked me for help with their website. And I said, do you want just this help that you're asking for? Or are you open to me giving you feedback on other things? And she said, just the help that I'm asking for, because she's so emotionally attached to her website, and she is not alone with that, right? People pay, excuse my French, but they get screwed because they pay thousands and thousands of dollars or pounds for people to make their websites. And then they're not thinking about, it needs to be simple. It's not about you. You can have an about page and be all about you.
Yes.
Other than that, it needs to be about the people you want to attract and what you can do for them. And that is exactly how your client journey should be as well.
Yes.
Providing value. It typically takes about 8 touch points when someone submits a lead form until they actually sign up. So all these people that have their websites with a contact form, and they get a lead in, and then they maybe call them one time and they don't answer because no one answers their phone anymore. And then maybe they send an email, right? Because they don't think about doing text messaging, or they don't want to give out their personal cell phone number. And then the lead doesn't respond. And then the owner it drops off. And I'm like, no, you need to give it a few more days, nurture it. Yeah. And so I set it up with these pipelines and these journeys, like your new lead is here for 30 days. And then they turn into a cold long-term lead, but you still want to nurture them. Even if it's less frequent, you still want to nurture them. I also set it up with something I call a stale opportunity. So if someone has been sitting in your appointment canceled or appointment showed stage for 14 days, I don't want you to forget about it. So I send you a notification, Alicia, make sure you're updating your pipeline.
Yes.
Right? So yeah, it's a little bit uncomfortable maybe to look at your process if your process isn't working for you. But getting out of our comfort zones is how we grow.
Well, this is it. And I think what you just said is really key, because you have to get uncomfortable. You have to get uncomfortable. So you have to look at the data. Like
Right.
you and I are very data driven. You have
Yes.
to look at the data. And I say this to my clients a lot. They ask me, well, this is not working. Well, have you looked at the data? What is the data telling you? And how can we fix it?
Right.
And I think that is really, really key here for the conversation as well, is because Kerry's going to do all of the work for you to
Right.
set things up. You have to manage that.
Right.
You have to still be implementing and executing on your side.
Right.
Yeah. So this is, yes, this is a done for you, but it does not mean that it's going to work overnight. You have to put in the work.
Absolutely. And I mean, yes, I can set up the automation so that people get emails and text messages when they submit your lead form, and then they book an appointment with you. But I'm not there to take your appointment. I can set you up for success, but you also have to do some of the work for your success.
Yeah. So tell us more about the CRM and how you work. So if I wasn't already working with you.
Yes.
And I came to you and I was like, Kerry, I don't know anything. I want to be able to get going because I have all of these leads. I have nowhere to put them and I'm losing money because I'm not following up.
Correct. Yep. So they would go to my website or hop on a call with me and fill out the form, book an appointment. And then we start from there. We have a chat. You tell me about your business. You tell me what you're looking for. I show you the specific features that are more of interest to you because it is so overwhelming. I mean, you saw it, right, on the call. It just literally the software does everything, which is why I struggle with finding kind of a catchphrase for it. And I call it an all-in-one business management tool or business management platform. And so in order for me to really hone in on what's going to be best for you and your business, I need to know a little bit about you and your business and what exactly you feel you're lacking on or what you feel you're good at. And let's elevate that a little more. And so once I have that call and someone's ready to go, they fill out my onboarding form. Takes me about 2 to 3 days to build. And then we have the onboarding call. Everything's customized. I get your brand colors. I set up your calendars. I help you integrate your social media channels and all of that. And then you're good to go. I do provide lessons via email once a week after you launch because I know it's overwhelming. And then people reach out to me. There's a little support button right in the platform. They can email me and there's no limit on support. I'm so sick and tired of people saying, buy my stuff and then no support. Girl, don't even get me started on that. I want people to be successful when working with me. So I provide unlimited email support. There's a chat feature. So I really just make myself accessible. And my kind of slogan is explore a new way to grow. And I believe in working smarter, not harder. So I have videos made that other entrepreneurs like yourself have maybe asked that exact question before. And I've implemented a solution that works. So now I can provide you that solution as well.
So what I'm hearing from you is if somebody comes to work with you, they could have their CRM set up within a week, ready to go.
Yes.
Whereas sometimes, like you said at the beginning, we are too frightened to invest. So we spend lots of women hours. Looking through Google, through YouTube to try and piecemeal things. We've all done it.
Right. Oh, definitely.
Or we buy a system that promises to help you set everything up that doesn't deliver. And what I'm hearing is, no, I'm going to hold your hand step by step. I'm going to be there to make sure that everything is set up. So why wouldn't you do that? Like the concierge VIP treatment is second to none. And I think that is your biggest niche is I've never heard a system do that. I've never heard a CRM company do that, handhold you all the way through the process. And I think that is the most overwhelming thing. And that's why we end up spending so much more money because we start to procrastinate. And then we're just like, shit, I can't do this. I've been there as well.
Yeah, absolutely. And I just want people to know that, yes, I hold your hand, but also keep in mind, I am a female entrepreneur myself. I've been there, I've done that. I understand your pain points, which is why I specifically have these conversations about the client journey, so that we're not just throwing spaghetti at the wall and seeing what sticks, right? I have processes in place that I've implemented with over 700 clients before, when I was working for someone else, before I ding dong, wake up, Kerry, do this on your own. You know how to do this. You're great at it, right?
Yeah.
So I really want people to be successful, and there's room for all of us to win in this market.
Right.
There's room for all of us to be successful, and there's so much money floating out there. We can all grab some money, make as much money as we want. So I do think that that is my biggest kind of flex, if you will, is that I do offer this concierge support, consultative support. And I will tell you, it's a little bit over a month since I launched, and I have already signed 14 clients. And let me tell you, I haven't paid for any ads. I'm not blowing up people's social media. I'm not DMing people. I've posted in a couple of groups here and there, but it's mostly all been word of mouth, because they experience support like no other.
Yes.
And that is what people need. It truly, like, you can have this tool or that tool, or you can piecemeal it all. But if one software is not talking to the other, and then you don't have support teams helping you, right? Then you're not going to get anywhere, because we all know you have a Google email and a WordPress website, and Google says, that's not in my hands. WordPress says, that's not on me. So no, I don't do that. I believe in not just doing the specific little tiny task at hand. I believe in looking at the big picture, remembering your vision, and helping you dial it all in.
I love that. I love all of it, because I just think it's well and truly needed. And I love that we get to support you as a woman business owner who is basically being very open and honest, because a lot of people tell you the what, but they don't really share the how you're going to be successful.
Right.
And you've said this from the get-go. And so I truly appreciate that, because there are so many gurus out there, like you said, that are telling you to do the thing. This is what made me successful, but we have to start at the basics. And if we don't have the basics set up, then it's like building a house and trying to start with the roof first.
Right. Exactly. While I give you a step-by-step manual, and I'm there holding the hammer with you from the first floor.
Yes. One of the things that you mentioned that I hadn't even really considered was the text message option. And that really stuck in my mind, because there is a lot of times where, like you said, I miss calls and then I forget to follow up. And so are you saying that this can happen through the system?
Yes, immediately. Right now, if someone calls you right now and you miss the call, and they have called you from a cell phone, then they will get a text message. And that text message can be customized. You can say, hey, it's Alicia. I'm recording a podcast. Send me a message. I'll get back to you. Or you can say, hey, so sorry I missed your call. How can I help? You can say whatever you want to say. And then you get that right to your phone, because I didn't mention this, but there is a mobile app in the Google Store and in the Apple Store, so that you can manage your business on the go. If you get a text message, right, you can respond to that. You don't have to, but you can.
Kerry, this is golden, because I've just had a thought of all of those mobile business and entrepreneurs, like the Pilates teacher, or the plumber, the carpenter, all of those people who are on the go always. Wow.
And not to mention, I just had this conversation with the plumber actually yesterday in Australia, of all places. I'm very lucky. I have clients from Australia all the way to Hawaii. I think the majority of my clients are actually in your time zone, Alicia.
Really? Wow.
Yes, I do. I think I have 4 or 5. Yeah.
That's so funny, because majority of my clients are in your time zone.
Yeah,
you see what we're saying?
Yeah.
You don't have to
limit yourself.
Do not limit yourself to just where you're living. I think I've shared this before, but I remember sitting next to somebody at a conference, and I was like, this is what I want to do in the UK. I want to do project management in the UK. And she was like, why just the UK? And that stuck. When I opened my mind to the whole world. Whoa.
Right. Exactly. And with this plumber, he wasn't using the missed call text back feature. And I'm like, why? You're in the car driving from house to house to house doing these jobs. You're not going to be able to answer the phone when you're there with your hands on the tools and the pipes. And obviously, I'm not a plumber because I don't know the correct terminology. But I'm like, you need to be using this feature so that you're not losing out on contacts. Plus, then you don't have to call everyone back. We can set up automated calling. You can pre-record a voicemail. And when someone enters your workflow or your automation, a voicemail goes out to them. I love using that feature for new clients. Yeah. Hey, this is Kerry. I just wanted to call to check in. I'm so sorry I missed you.
Yes.
Okay. It's an automation, but my clients are like, wow, she's calling me. Wow, she really cares. This is an extra touch point. And
yes,
I don't think people think about that. Another very underutilized tool is Google reviews. People don't understand that. You need to be getting Google reviews and you need to be responding to those Google reviews. Your Google My Business listing isn't just a one and done thing, set it up and you're done. You need to be posting on Google My Business on a regular basis, because if you want Google to like you, you need to show Google that you like them.
We need to set that up. Exactly. And I didn't know that.
Yes, that is one way of increasing your SEO and ranking higher up on Google. And now I can set it up in the automation to where if someone clicks on your listing on Google and messages you there, you can automate your messages back to them versus having to log on to Google and do that. Same thing if you get a Facebook or Instagram DM, you can respond directly from the app, whether it be on desktop or on mobile, which I love because I know sometimes when I get on Instagram or Facebook, I get squirrel minded and I'm literally like, wait, what did I get on here to do again? And then suddenly I'm like 4 hours later, oh, darn it, I was supposed to message Sally back, right? But now the system does it and it alerts me that I got a message. So that way I can hone in on my notifications on my phone. So I'm not being notified from every Tom and John and Paul commenting or liking or friend requesting or whatever.
Yes, yes.
So now I can hone in my efforts and I can say between this and this time, I don't want any automations to go out, so that you create more. Oh, I just got a lead.
You see? You see? I love that happened in real time.
Right. I just got a notification on my watch here. But so that you can actually take control of your time without your business stopping. And another thing that I like to do, especially when I was running my fitness business, was at about that 6-week mark when people start feeling really good about themselves and noticing the changes in their body. That's when I send out the Google review link. Automated. I mark them as one. The system knows it's been 6 weeks. Send out the review. Hey, Alicia, you've been with us for about 6 weeks now. How are you feeling? We would love it if you could leave us a review on Google. Here's the link. Send them an email, send them a text message, make it easy for them to talk about how amazing you are. So then other people can find you. So then other people can see how amazing you are. And all of that's automated.
So Kerry, tell us how people can work with you.
Absolutely. So they can go to my website. It's PoiseCRM.com. And poise, that's as in balance, right? Because that's what I want to create with life. I want to help people automate their businesses and run them on autopilot. And they can fill out the form there, book a call with me and have a chat. And even if they decide not to sign up, pick my brain for the 30 minutes we're on the call. Let me provide you with some strategies. I do offer a free workflow audit where people can just hop on the call and say, hey, this is what I'm doing. Do you have any suggestions on how I can optimize my marketing or my automations? I love organization. I love systems. I love all the tech tools and my planner and all of that. So I do have some very good ideas and been around the block a few times with businesses and different challenges. So yeah, I'd love to just meet with other entrepreneurs and see how I can help them.
Fabulous. Kerry, this has been juicy. You have given us some major tips on just how to really think about and consider what is going on in our business right now. Like my brain is like, oh, I need to do this. I need to re-listen to this episode.
Make that checklist for yourself.
Make that checklist. Maybe I'll make that checklist for you all as well. Watch this space. But I am just so thankful that one, we're going to do this for my business. but also so thankful for you showing up and really sharing your expertise with the listeners, because I know a lot of them are going to be thinking, ooh, I never considered that. So I would really encourage you all to go and take Kerry up on that free audit, because it's going to really make you understand what you are not doing in your business right now to make that cash. And we are all in business to make money. As much as people are like, oh, it's about my passion. No, you need to make money too.
Right. I think I just want to add, and also thank you so much for having me. I really appreciate that. I just want to add that I have been very successful in my profession within fitness and within health and wellness. I mean, I'm a professor at a university on the side. I've been very successful, but that doesn't give me the income that I want. And it doesn't necessarily give me the freedom that I want. And it doesn't allow me to just shut off when I want. And I just really want the listeners to understand that even though this feels so overwhelming, even though sometimes you feel like you're drowning in all of the business things you need to do on top of your life, right? On top of surviving and thriving, that you can do this. Don't work harder when you can work smarter. And yes, it may feel overwhelming. It may feel daunting. Oh, another thing I need to invest in. But yeah, you invest in this and you can ditch all the rest. And have concierge support and consultative support throughout your journey.
So let me ask you this. I am ready to set up my CRM. You set it up for me. Do you do a retainer package? Because I'm not a techie person per se.
Right.
Just say I don't like tech.
Yes.
And I just want Kerry to show me the basics. However, I'm going slow. So I want to build. I want to continue to build. Do you then offer retainer services and packages? So
so it's a monthly subscription, or you can sign up for an annual subscription. And the nice thing is that there's no limit to the support. You can email me the same question 4 times in 4 different ways if you need to. The even nicer thing is that I'm a professor. I know how to teach people things. And I've worked with all levels of students, and I've worked in elementary and junior high and high school and now university. So I know how to teach things, and I send you videos. So you can save the video, right? And if you're like, I don't understand this, well, okay, I log in, I fix it for you. So I have some people that sign up because they want to use everything. But then I also have people who sign up that just want to use one specific feature. Like I just had one client sign up because they need a new calendar system and they want to link everything together, gather their emails, send out their emails so they can host webinars. I'm like, okay, well, we can do that for you. Not a problem. And then you also have XYZ available to you. You don't have to use it. I recommend when you feel ready to, as you grow, we're exploring a new way to grow, right? As you're growing, add on some more features. You don't have to eat everything on the plate just because you bought the dinner. Start with what you can digest. I'll help you go from there.
Thank you so much, Kerry. This has been amazing. And I really, really hope that we have really given you some food for thought, good analogy to consider the things that you can do within your business to, one, help to automate the business, but also to save you some time, some energy, money, and give you back some of that desire to do other things. Like Kerry said, let's try and work smarter, not harder. And so we can invest in ourselves. So that's my strap line. Like, you have to invest in yourself in order to invest in your business. And so let's make sure that we do that. Kerry, thank you so, so much. And so watchers and listeners, please, 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 if you know of somebody who may need Kerry services, please share this episode with them, because let's grow together. This is a community that we are both trying to grow, in the sense of you don't have to feel alone in building your business.
Right. Exactly. Yes. Thank you so much for having me. This has been a pleasure. I always love connecting with you and talking business and talking finances. And I love that you're not afraid to dive into the nitty gritty when it comes to money with me. So this has been wonderful. Thank you so much, Alicia.
Oh, it's such a pleasure. And I think for me, just having this platform to have those taboo conversations is really important to me, because a lot of the times we're too scared to open up to what we truly desire. And that
Right.
stops us from doing what we truly desire. So this is really important for me. So thank you so much. Listeners,
Yes.
thank you so much for showing up again. I love, love, love connecting with you on a weekly basis. And I hope this episode resonated with you. Take care for now. Speak to you soon.
Bye.